Chapter 2252. Brother Yinfeng, should we hide here and watch? Yin Shutian's eyes lit up like a cunning little fox. Yin Yinfeng's face darkened. Let's go outside. Wait. Seeing Yin Yinfeng stretch out his hand, a glint flashed across Yin Shutian's eyes. He smiled and took out a bottle of spiritual liquid. This is an aphrodisiac that I use to concoct with Mother's spiritual medicine, but your acacia powder is much stronger. I'll feed it to her now. After saying that, she slowly walked forward and carefully fed the spiritual liquid into Ouyang Yu's mouth. Although Ouyang Yu was unconscious, the spiritual liquid still flowed into her body. After a while, her body began to heat up and her breathing became heavy. Brother Yinfeng, let's go. The effect of this spiritual liquid is very strong. If you stay, she'll definitely pounce on you. Yin Shutian clapped her hands and walked to Yin Yinfeng's side. She forcefully hooked his arm. You're mine. I don't want to give you to another woman. After so many years, Yin Yinfeng was already used to Yin Shutian's confession from time to time. He felt warmth in his heart, but when he thought of the spiritual liquid in Yin Shutian's hand, his face darkened again. Shouldn't you explain what's going on with that spiritual liquid? Yin Shutian blinked and asked with a confused gaze. I don't understand what you're saying. You're still pretending. Why do you have such a thing on you? This. Yin Shutian carefully looked at Yin Yinfeng. I want to let you drink it, but I didn't expect Ouyang Yu to benefit from it. Yin Yinfeng's face darkened. I said that when you're 18 years old, if you're still determined to marry me, I'll marry you. Wasn't he just afraid that this girl was too young and would regret it in the future? At that time, wouldn't he harm her for the rest of her life? Brother Yinfeng, I know what I want. Yin Shutian's eyes were very bright as she looked up at the handsome youth in front of her. I'm also very determined in my heart. As long as you're willing to marry me now, I'll immediately marry you. I won't regret it for the rest of my life. Are you sure? Yin Yinfeng narrowed his eyes and pulled Yin Shutian into the bushes at the side. His body pressed tightly against her. You really won't regret it? As if sensing the sudden change in the young man's aura, Yin Shutian's heart was a little flustered. Although she had prepared this medicine, she didn't have the guts to try it. Why did the current Brother Yinfeng make her feel so scared, as if he had taken drugs? Brother Yinfeng, it's not too late to regret it now. Yin Yinfeng's lips curled into a smile as he looked at the girl in front of him seriously. Yin Shutian's heart trembled. She looked up at the young man's eyes and pursed her thin lips. I want to marry you. From the very beginning, she had wanted to marry him. All right, you've already confirmed it. If I don't do something, what kind of man am I? Yin Yinfeng lowered his head. I gave you a chance to regret, but you didn't cherish it. In the future, even if you regret it, I won't let you go. He pressed Yin Shutian's body tightly and fiercely kissed the delicate lips below. His kiss was so forceful that Yin Shutian's eyes were filled with tears. Ugh. She wanted to struggle, but the young man's strength was so great that she couldn't resist. This feeling made Yin Shutian panic. Her fingers clutched the soil on the ground tightly as she looked at the young man in front of her pitifully. Chapter 2207. Brother Yinfeng was such a gentle person. Why was he so violent at a time like this? Shutian. After a long time, Yin Yinfeng finally let go of the girl below him. In the future, I won't let you go. You can't leave even if you want to. Yin Shutian nodded. She suddenly thought of something and said pitifully, Brother Yinfeng, can you not kiss me so hard? It hurts. Yin Yinfeng then noticed the girl's red and swollen lips. A trace of guilt flashed across his eyes. Sorry I hurt you. I'll be more careful in the future. He's here. His gaze shifted, and he hurriedly pulled Yin Shutian up from the ground and held her in his arms. Both of them looked forward. Under the moonlight, Wang Haoyin's footsteps were somewhat hurried as he quickly pushed open the door of Green Mist Palace. Seeing his appearance, Yin Shutian's expression was very disappointed. It's really him. Now you already know what kind of trash the men outside are? Yin Yinfeng raised his eyebrows, implying that the men outside were all bastards, and only he was the best. After a while, moans came from inside the house. The sound pierced through the night and resounded through the clouds. It also made Yin Chutian's face turn red as he tightly pulled Yin Yinfeng's sleeve. Brother Yinfeng, should we leave for a while? No need. Yin Yinfeng smiled and thoughtfully covered Yin Chutian's ears with his hand. You won't be able to hear it this way. Indeed, without those sounds, Yin Chutian's expression became much better. She looked at Yin Yinfeng curiously and asked, Brother Yinfeng, don't you think that this sound is very, very piercing? She really did not know what words to use to describe it, so she said this. The corners of Yin Yinfeng's mouth twitched. What could he say? Was he supposed to tell Yin Chutian that he was immature when he was young and often hid under his parents' bed with a maidservant and listened to them for an entire night? If this matter was known by this girl, who knew how she would laugh at him? I automatically blocked this sound. Yin Yinfeng raised his lips and looked at the lights coming from the corridor not far away. It seems that this sound is too loud and attracted other people. That's good. It saves us trouble. Of course. Yin Chutian raised his little head proudly. Don't you know who concocted the spiritual fluid? How could Ouyang withstand it? Yin Yinfeng's ear lovingly scratched Yin Chutian's little nose. When mother comes, I will tell her what you have done. You can also explain why you concocted this medicine. Huh? Yin Chutian's face was sullen. Brother Yinfeng, don't tell mother. I know I was wrong. I won't dare to do it again. You really won't dare to do it again. Really? More real than pearls. Yin Chutian hurriedly nodded. This matter must not be known to mother. Otherwise, mother would punish him to memorize those boring books again. Yin Chutian suddenly came back to his senses and asked, All right, you just said that mother is coming? You are mother's goddaughter, her future daughter-in-law. How could she not come support you? But Yin Chutian was a little depressed. Didn't mother promise me to take revenge myself? The promise is temporary. If she didn't promise you back then, you would definitely find an excuse not to go and find a time when no one knows about it. How could she support you then? Yin Yinfeng smiled. Mother wants everyone to know that you are her daughter and that the people in Sky Emperor City will not dare to look down on you anymore. Chapter 2253. Hearing this, Yin Chutian's mood gradually improved. Brother Yinfeng, then, don't tell mother that you kissed me just now. If mother finds out, she'll definitely hold a wedding for us immediately. At that moment, Yin Yinfeng's face darkened. Didn't you say you want to marry me? Are you going back on your words so soon? He bit Yin Chutian's lips again and said fiercely, I won't give you this chance. I want to marry Brother Yinfeng, but once we get married, we have to consummate our marriage. Yin Chutian's face was a little pale. They said that it will be very painful during the consummation. I'm afraid. Don't be afraid. I'll be careful. As soon as Yin Yinfeng said this, he felt that something was wrong. Why did he and Yin Chutian already talk about consummation? Shoo! Yin Yinfeng sensed the approaching footsteps and whispered, They're here. The person leading was Ouyang's son. His expression was very ugly, and his eyes were filled with coldness. He didn't believe it when he heard that Wang Haoyin sneaked in. Now that he heard the sound from the room, his face darkened even more. Wang Shuilian, are you sure that Wang Haoyin is in Yin Chutian's room? Ouyang's son took a deep breath and said coldly, It would be fine if it was someone else in the room, but why did it have to be Wang Haoyin? He was going to marry Ouyang Yu, but it was ruined by Yin Chutian. Now that they were together, how could the royal family save face? Your Majesty, I also heard from my brother that Yin Chutian sent him a letter at night and asked to meet him. I think my brother can only belong to the second princess, so I went to your Majesty to clarify this matter. But my brother is innocent, and I hope your Majesty can let him go. Wang Shuilian's face was filled with undisguised anxiety, but when no one saw it, the corners of her mouth curled into a smug smile. Yin Chutian, you're no longer a virgin. Let's see how you can still seduce my man. Ouyang Sun's face turned cold as he shouted sternly, Guards, break the door open. 2 guards stepped forward and kicked the door open. The room was pitch black, and they could only faintly hear 2 blurry figures in front of them. Light the lamp. As Ouyang Sun's words fell, a eunuch took out a lamp from behind and placed it on the table. However, after seeing the scene in the room, everyone was stunned. Wang Haoyin's eyes were filled with fear. Perhaps he didn't expect Ouyang's son to come at this time. Just as he was about to say something to the woman under him, he suddenly found a seductive face. Startled, he hurriedly separated his body that was still joined together and quickly retreated. How could it be you? Ouyang Yu's eyes were like silk. She twisted her body and stood up from the ground. Her clothes were torn, revealing the love bites all over her body. Oh, I want more. She rushed towards Wang Haoyan, as if she did not see the group of people who had rushed into the room. Wang Shuoyan was also stunned. Why was the woman inside not Yin Chutian, but the second princess? I want to give it to me. Ouyang Yu pulled Wang Haoyan's sleeve and stuck her body to him. Wang Haoyan was so shocked that he shook off Ouyang Yu. His face was ashen. Why are you the one in the room? Where's Lady Chutian? Just as he finished speaking, a burst of laughter suddenly came from behind. Are you looking for me? Wang Haoyan hurriedly turned around and saw the young boy and girl squeezing through the crowd and squeezing in from behind. Chapter 2254. Yin Chutian crossed his arms in front of his chest and smiled as if he was watching a good show. Miss Chutian, listen to my explanation. Wang Haoyan was anxious and wanted to pull Yin Chutian's hand. But before he could reach Yin Chutian, he was blocked by the young man. Get lost. Don't touch Tian with your dirty hands. Wang Haoyan took a few steps back and almost fell to the ground. He looked at Yun Chutian in despair and saw the disgust in her eyes. Even before this, she didn't hate him so much slap. Ouyang's son stepped forward and slapped Ouyang Yu's face. Under everyone's shocked gaze, Ouyang Yu gradually came back to her senses. At that moment, all the things that happened before floated in her mind. Ouyang Yu's face turned pale as she screamed. Ah! How could this be? Why was she here? Why did she do such an immoral thing? Ouyang Yu's entire body trembled. She caught a glimpse of the gloating girl beside Yin Yinfeng and suddenly pounced over. It's you, it must be you. Did you bring me to this place and let Wang Haoyan do that to me? Yin Chutian's eyes were blank. What are you talking about? Aren't you and Wang Haoyan husband and wife? I walked to the door just now and saw you and Wang Haoyan walking in. I thought you were going back to your Qinglan palace to consummate your marriage with him. I was kind enough to let you have the palace for one night, but you repaid my kindness with ingratitude. You. Ouyang Yu's face turned red with anger as she glared at Yin Chutian. She knew that after this night, her reputation would be ruined. All of this was Yin Chutian's doing. Yin Chutian, I won't let you off. Ouyang Yu turned to look at Ouyang's son. Father, I was fine in the palace just now, but I was knocked out. I don't know what they fed me, but I became like this. So, I concluded that someone must have framed me. Her eyes were fixed on Yun Chutian, and the meaning behind her words was obvious. Who would frame her? Other than Yin Chutian, there was probably no one else. Ouyang's son also thought of this and coldly looked at Yin Chutian. Perhaps Yun Chutian's methods scared him so much that he didn't dare to say another word. Brother Nianfeng, bring me the thing I asked you to find. Yin Chutian smiled and extended his hand to Yin Nianfeng. He raised his eyebrows and looked at the pale Ouyang Yu. All right. Yin Nianfeng responded and took out a yellowing book and handed it to Yin Chutian. When Ouyang Yu saw that book, a trace of panic flashed across her eyes. Why did she hide it so well? How did this brat find it? Yin Chutian ignored Ouyang Yu's panicked eyes and raised his eyebrows to look at Ouyang's son. Now, I'll show you Ouyang Yu's true colors. What do you mean? Ouyang's son frowned and asked coldly. As Ouyang Yu's father, you should be able to recognize her notes. Take a look. Are these books written by Ouyang Yu herself? Yin Chutian blinked his eyes and handed the book to Ouyang's son. Ouyang's son was stunned and shook his head no. He could still recognize his daughter's notes. This handwritten book wasn't written by his daughter. Then, do you remember the medicinal herbs needed to treat the plague back then? Yin Chutian casually flipped through a few pages. She didn't even look at them and flipped to the required pages. Is it these? Chapter 2255. Ouyang's son looked at the book handed over by Yin Chutian in surprise and frowned slightly. I remember that it's indeed these herbs. Yin Chutian smiled. She took the book back and said, First, you said that this isn't Ouyang Yu's notes. Second, You said that these are the herbs used to treat illnesses. Then, can Ouyang Yu explain the problem with this book? I. A hint of panic flashed across Ouyang Yu's eyes. Imperial Father, this book was given to me by my master, but my master doesn't like others to know about it. That's why. That's why he doesn't allow me to tell anyone about him. What she said was reasonable. After all, Ouyang Yu was young back then. It would be very reliable if she had a master behind her. Your master? Yin Chutian's eyes were full of smiles. I don't know where your master is. I'll go and invite him out. I also have a few medical questions to consult. Ouyang Yu suppressed the irritation in her heart and glared fiercely at Yin Chutian. No one understood Yin Chutian's medical attainments better than her. When she was young, she already had such powerful medical skills. Now that many years had passed, she had improved even more. If she found someone else, she would be easily exposed. Thinking of this, Ouyang Yu calmed herself down. My master is really not someone you can see whenever you want. So you'd better not do this useless thing. It's okay. You know my strength. The one beside me is my brother. He's stronger than me. As long as you tell me where he is, I'll immediately invite him out. Anyway, she had already made up her mind to expose Ouyang Yu. Ouyang Yu bit her lip. No, if you do this, it will bring disaster to the entire royal family. My master is very powerful. You can't provoke him. It's okay. Even if I provoke him, it's my own business. If he gets angry, he'll be angry at us. I'll never expose you. Can you tell me now? You. Ouyang Yu was so angry that her pretty face turned red. Yin Chutian, do you really want to go against me? Yin Chutian blinked his eyes innocently. I just want to see your master. How am I going against you? If your master isn't shameful, why aren't you willing to say it? Or is it that your master's status is too low? Nonsense. Ouyang Yu's brain twitched as she said, my master is one of the two true gods of the continent, Yin Luofeng. You won't be able to see a person of this level in your entire life, and you still want to see her. Ever since she was young, Yin Chutian knew that Ouyang Yu couldn't be provoked. Once she was provoked, she would say anything to prove herself. But what Yin Chutian didn't expect was that Ouyang Yu actually claimed that her master was Yin Luofeng. Yin Luofeng? Ouyang Sun frowned. Yin Xiao? Wah. He suddenly realized why the name. Yin Xiao sounded so familiar to him previously. Wasn't he one of the two true gods? Yin Chutian's father was a true god? No, this was just a coincidence. If the father that Yin Chutian recognized was really a true god, then she would have come back for revenge a long time ago. Even if she came now, she would definitely bring a group of experts with her. It was impossible for her to go alone. Therefore, it must be someone with the same name. Wang Shuilian was also shocked. One of the two true deities, Yin Luofeng? How is this possible? How could you be a true god? Chapter 2256. He was bullied by her in Huaxia, and now that he came to the mainland, he was also bullied by her. What's going on with Yin Luofeng? She deliberately lowered her voice and asked the palace maid behind her. The palace maid replied, Yin Luofeng is one of the real gods in this land. He is the ruler of this world. He has been famous in this land for decades, and everyone knows him. He even broke through to real god realm 15 years ago. That's right. Famous decades ago, broke through 15 years ago, but Yin Luofeng had only been missing for 10 years in Huaxia. So this woman they called a true god couldn't be the Yin Luofeng she knew. At this moment, Wang Shuilian didn't know that Yin Luofeng had indeed come to this mainland decades ago, nor did she know that she left the mainland and returned to Huaxia 10 years ago. It was because she didn't know anything that she made such a low-level mistake. I'm dying of laughter. Yin Chutian clutched his lower abdomen and laughed so hard that he couldn't straighten his back. Brother Nianfeng, this woman actually told such a lie, huh? Ouyang Yu's face paled. In fact, she regretted it the moment she said it, but there was no turning back. She could only bite the bullet and continue. What you can't do doesn't mean that I can't do it. My master already said that I'm the most talented disciple she's ever seen. People like you don't even have the right to look up to her. Yin Chutian's eyes curved into a crescent moon. Then, have you seen her? Of course I have. Even though it was on a portrait, This portrait was something that his father had painstakingly obtained in the past. His goal was to prevent himself from accidentally provoking this terrifying woman, so he had memorized her appearance in his heart. Of course, someone with Wang Shulian's identity didn't even have a right to get a portrait, so she didn't know Yun Luofeng's status in this mainland. Yun Yinfeng's expression was ugly. This was what he encountered. In places he didn't, how many people used his mother's name to act like a tyrant? Perhaps some people's actions had even ruined his mother's reputation. Your Majesty. At this moment, a guard walked in from outside the door and said a few words in Ouyang Sun's ear. Ouyang Sun's face lit up, and he suddenly burst into laughter. Yin Shutian, don't be in a hurry to find trouble with my daughter. You should worry about yourself first. Ha! My royal elder has already come out of seclusion. Tonight will be the night of your death. Really? Yin Shutian smirked and hooked Yin Yinfeng's arm. Big brother Yinfeng, these bad guys are bullying me. How do you think I should deal with them? Yin Yinfeng lovingly caressed Yin Shutian's head. Do whatever you want. Whether it's me, father, or mother, we will all support you. His smile was very dazzling, and his doting expression made Wang Shulian, who was standing to the side, feel jealous. She wanted nothing more than to tear this woman into pieces, who asked her to snatch away the man that belonged to her. When Ouyang Sun saw the smile on Yin Shutian's face, he snorted coldly and said sternly, Go and invite a few elders here. Tell them that someone wants to attack our imperial empire. Yes, your majesty. A guard cupped his fist respectfully and retreated. Yin Shutian didn't stop him. She came to solve the problem once and for all. Since the elders of the royal family had come out of seclusion, it was time for her to take revenge. Chapter 2257. Boom! A clap of thunder rang out in the pitch-black night sky. Almost at the same time, a voice even louder than thunder came from the night sky. Who is so bold to cause trouble in my sky emperor city? Yin Yinfeng gently rubbed Yin Yinfeng's head and smiled. I'll settle the matters outside. You can stay here. Brother Yinfeng. Yin Shutian pouted. Didn't you say that I'll take revenge myself? I'm afraid that those people will dirty your hands. Yin Yinfeng's tone was full of pampering. His eyes were so gentle that it could drown a person. Yin Shutian looked at Yin Yinfeng's handsome face. Brother Yinfeng, why do I feel that you're more and more beautiful? You're as beautiful as father and mother. I like Brother Yinfeng the most. Yin Shutian was affected. Whether it was Yin Luofeng or Yin Xiao, they were both so good-looking. Growing up in such a family, she must be very picky about appearance. As for why she liked Yin Yinfeng, it was because her brother Yinfeng was good-looking. Other than her father and mother, no one could compare to him. Yin Yinfeng's handsome face turned red. Wait here for me for a few seconds. I'll be back soon. After saying this, Yin Yinfeng left the room in a flash. Shameless. Wang Shulian's expression changed. She really didn't expect this woman to say such disgusting words, especially to her man. Yin Yinfeng didn't leave for long. Just as he said, he walked back again after a few seconds. His handsome face didn't change. After coldly glancing at the people in front of him, he turned his gaze to Yin Shutian. They're just a group of ants. I've already dealt with them. Ouyang Sun's expression suddenly changed. He shouted sternly, Why aren't the elders here yet? He would never believe that a young man who was still wet behind the ears could defeat a few elders. Your Majesty! The guard who came to report rushed in again. This time, his body was trembling and his face was full of horror. Your Majesty, those elders are already dead. Boom! Like a bolt from the blue, Ouyang Sun was dumbfounded. Everyone in the palace turned pale and looked at Yin Yinfeng in horror. Impossible! Where did this young man come from? Why does he have this kind of strength? Yin Yinfeng, Yin Luofeng, Yin Xiao. The combination of these three names reminded Ouyang Sun of what Yin Shutian had said before, and his eyes were filled with astonishment. Did Yin Shu really acknowledge Yin Xiao as his father? Wang Haoyan stood up in a daze. His handsome face was pale as he looked at Yin Shutian and Yin Yinfeng. His lips trembled as if he wanted to say something, but he couldn't. Young Master Yinfeng, Yun Yinfeng's fingers were gently stroking Yun Chutian's hair when a gentle voice suddenly sounded from the side. He frowned and glanced coldly at Wang Shiwelian, who was standing in front of him. "It's you again, fatty?" Wang Shiwelian clenched her fists tightly. She was only slightly more than 110 kilograms. This was just plump, not fat. But Wang Yinfeng actually kept calling him fatty. "Mr. Yinfeng, my name is Wang Shiwelian." She took a deep breath and said, "Big brother Yinfeng." Yun Chutian's two slender arms wrapped around Yun Yinfeng's neck and smiled. "I've really never seen such a shameless person. You've already humiliated her like this, but she still pretends that nothing happened." No matter how thick-skinned Wang Shiwelian was, her expression changed slightly after hearing this. Anger flashed in her eyes as she looked at Yun Chutian. Chapter 2258. "Brother Yinfeng, this woman dares to glare at me." Yun Chutian pouted and complained pitifully. "Oomph. Don't think that she didn't know that this woman had taken a fancy to her brother Yinfeng. She wouldn't give anyone a chance. Moreover, this Wang Shiwelian was Wang Haoyan's sister. Jackals of the same tribe. I didn't." Wang Shiwelian hurriedly retracted her gaze and looked wronged. "Young Master Yinfeng, I've been on a diet lately. Soon, I'll be as thin as her. Moreover, her relationship with my brother was unclear. Don't you think she's dirty?" A trace of coldness flashed across Yun Chutian's eyes. He smiled coquettishly and walked toward Wang Shiwelian. Then he slapped her face. Wang Shiwelian widened her eyes in shock. "You?" She was speaking the truth. This woman actually dared to hit her. "I don't just want to hit you. I also want to kick you." Yun Chutian kicked Yun Shiwelian's chest, causing her to fall to the ground. He raised his chin and said condescendingly, "I finally know why mother likes to kick people these days. Cough, cough." Wang Shiwelian coughed out 2 mouthfuls of blood and turned to Yun Yinfeng with an ugly expression. "Young Master Yinfeng, she's so presumptuous. Aren't you going to discipline her? Moreover, she was doing it for his own good, wasn't she? It's useless for you to find brother Yinfeng. He's willing to spoil me, so I can be willful. You scolded me just now, so I'm going to hit you. Who asked her to be the one being spoiled? Thus, she had the right to be willful." "Enough." Ouyang Sun's expression had returned to normal. He shouted coldly, "Yin Chutian, don't forget that Er's master is Yun Luofeng, one of the 2 true gods of the continent. Do you think this brat is useful just because he defeated our Sky Emperor city's elder? Once Er makes her master an elder, let's see if you still have the right to be arrogant." Ouyang Yu's face turned pale, and her heart trembled. However, she couldn't reveal anything at this time. "Are you sure your master gave you this book?" Yin Chutian turned his head and sneered at Ouyang Yu. "I'll give you another chance." Ouyang Yu bit her lip. Yes, she would never admit that this book was given to her by Yin Chutian. However, there were still a few questions in the book that she didn't understand. That was why she kept it here until now. It was originally hidden well, but she didn't know how this brat found it. Yin Chutian smiled. That smile was very charming and lively. His eyes and brows were curved and full of spirit. "If your master was someone else, I would have to make a trip to bring her out. However, I'm afraid you'll be able to meet the person you're talking about very soon." Ouyang Yu's eyes widened. What did that mean? What did he mean she would be able to see him soon? While everyone was still in shock because of Yin Chutian, a dragon's roar came from the sky. This roar was so earth-shattering that everyone in Heavenly Imperial City ran out. Ouyang Sun's face was pale. His eyes flashed with panic, and he quickly ran out of the palace. Seeing Ouyang Sun go out, the others also ran out of the door and looked at the huge white dragon in the void in astonishment. "It's him." Ouyang Sun recognized this dragon at a glance. It was the one that kidnapped Yin Chutian back then. He still remembered that there was a woman in white standing on the white dragon. However, the woman's face seemed to be covered by a layer of white mist. In addition, he was busy running for his life, so he didn't notice the woman's appearance at all. The white dragon stayed in the void, and the white light on its body shrouded the entire night. Chapter 2259. Ouyang Sun was shocked. He didn't understand why the white dragon was there. "Your Majesty, there are 2 people on the dragon's head." Suddenly, one of the eunuchs screamed, his voice trembling. Only then did Ouyang Sun see the two people clearly. The woman's white dress fluttered, and she was as beautiful as a painting. The man standing beside her was dressed in black, and he was as cold as an eagle in the night. However, when he looked at the woman beside him, there was a hint of gentleness in his eyes that was hard to detect. The two of them were as perfect as an immortal couple. They were so stunning that people couldn't take their eyes off them. Swoosh! While everyone was still in shock, the two of them had already leaped down from the white dragon's head and landed steadily on the ground. Ouyang Sun's gaze changed from the initial shock to astonishment as he stared at the beautiful woman in white. You're Miss Yin Luofeng? The person who caused an uproar in the entire mainland? Yin Shuelian's lips were trembling. She took a few steps back and shook her head. She was so shocked that she couldn't say a word. Even after 10 years, she would never forget this face. But in 10 years, many people had aged and she had grown up. Why was this woman still as young and beautiful as she was 10 years ago? Her face didn't change at all. What was even more difficult for Yin Shuelian to accept was that this woman was only riding on a dragon. Moreover, from Ouyang Sun's words, she could tell that Yin Luofeng was the real god they were talking about. Not the same name? No. How could she accept this fact? Mother! Yin Shutian couldn't help but laugh when he saw Yin Luofeng. His body flashed, and he rushed into Yin Luofeng's arms, raising his cute face. Mother, you're finally here. Mother? Ouyang Sun's face twitched. He felt as if his heart had been punched by a heavy fist, and he almost couldn't breathe. Ouyang Yu was even more shocked. She had never seen Yin Luofeng in person, but she had seen the portrait, and the portrait was exactly the same as the woman in front of her. But why was this powerful woman Yun Shutian's adoptive mother? Father, mother. Yin Yinfeng also walked forward with a smile on his face. His words were even harder to accept. Yin Shutian was only an adopted daughter, but this youth was Yin Luofeng and Yun Zhao's biological son. But what did they just do? He actually wanted to lay his hands on the true God's son? Are you tired of living? Mother, I have something to ask you. When did you accept a disciple? Yin Shutian pouted his tender little mouth and asked coquettishly. Yin Luofeng was startled. Did you forget that I have a disciple? I was planning to arrange the marriage between little Mo and little Bai during your wedding with Yinfeng. Did you forget about little Bai? Mother, I'm not talking about little Bai. Yin Shutian pointed at Ouyang Yu with his chin. Just now, this woman said that she's your disciple and that you wrote this book. In fact, she tricked me into giving it to her. Ouyang Yu's face had already lost all color. She really wanted to faint, but her mind was very clear, so she couldn't even faint. Yin Luofeng casually flipped open the book that Yin Shutian handed over and smiled faintly. Most of the answers in this book are correct. Only a few questions are wrong. Chapter 2260. I was only 5 years old at that time, and no one taught me. I learned medical skills by my own efforts. Yin Shutian stuck out his tongue. But I know these questions myself. Didn't I ask you later? I already know what to do now. Yin Luofeng nodded in satisfaction. I'll keep this book as a souvenir. Their conversation was nothing more than an indication of the true owner of the book. Ouyang Sun's face was livid. He turned around and stared at Ouyang Yu angrily. What the hell is going on? Didn't you say this book was given to you by your master? Your master or Miss Yin? Explain it to me now. Plop. Ouyang Yu was so frightened that she knelt on the ground, her body trembling. Imperial Father, your daughter knows she was wrong. Please forgive me. Forgive you? How can I forgive you? Ouyang Sun closed his eyes in pain. If it weren't for Ouyang Yu, he wouldn't have treated Yin Shutian as a demoness and burned him to death. He would not have missed the chance to strike up a conversation with two true gods. Yes, the last sentence was Ouyang Sun's real thought. The emperor was heartless. How could he really care about his daughter? He only cared about himself. Shutian. Ouyang Sun looked at Yin Shutian again, and his tone softened. Back then, it was Father's fault for wronging you. Now that you're back, Father will treat you well. Yin Shutian smiled disdainfully. I remember that you wanted to burn me to death back then. If it wasn't for Mother who saved me, I would have died a long time ago. Moreover, the people of the heavenly imperial city have been spreading rumors that Ouyang Yu is a goddess and that I'm a demoness who came to harm the goddess. I'm afraid that these rumors are all thanks to your imperial palace. Ouyang Sun's face became paler and paler. He clenched his fists tightly and felt remorseful. Goddess? Demoness? Yin Luofeng smiled faintly. Rumors stop with the wise. It seems that the people of Heavenly Imperial City are so stupid that there's no need for them to exist. However, there's one thing that is correct. There is indeed a goddess in the Heavenly Emperor City. It is just that the goddess is Chu Tian. She slowly walked towards Ouyang Sun. If you had treated Yin Chu Tian extremely well during those 5 years, the Heavenly Sovereign City would have risen in the future. It was you who sacrificed this opportunity. Ouyang Sun raised his head and looked at Yin Luofeng's calm expression. His eyes were filled with regret. Do you know why I took Chu Tian away? Yin Luofeng's lips curled up in a devilish smile. Because Chu Tian's previous life was my daughter. She died protecting me. I waited for her for 5 years before I found her in Imperial Emperor City. I never imagined that you would treat my daughter like this. Ouyang Sun closed his eyes. He regretted it. If he had known that Yin Chu Tian and Yin Luofeng had such a relationship, he would never have made such a mistake. Unfortunately, there were no ifs, Nianfeng. Yin Luofeng turned to Yin Nianfeng. Chu Tian will be your wife. From now on, you will protect her. Don't let anyone who harmed her in the past go. Even if you burn down the entire Sky Emperor City, you must make those foolish people pay the price. She couldn't believe it. If she had been one step late back then, would she have been separated from Yin Chu Tian again? So, how could she forgive those who had hurt her? Even if it was just those people who were making a fuss, she would not let any of them off. For example, she had dyed the Imperial City with blood just to stop those people from humiliating her mother. By Yin, since the rumors couldn't be stopped with gentle means, she didn't mind being cruel. Chapter 2261. Don't worry, Mother. I won't let the people who hurt Chu Tian live. Murderous intent flashed in Yun Yinfeng's eyes. 10 years ago, Chu Tian was only a 5-year-old child. Could you imagine the despair this 5-year-old child felt when she was tied to a pillar about to be burned at the stake? However, those people didn't even bother to verify it and just humiliated her so much. He would never forgive the people who hurt her. Hearing this, Ouyang Sun's body went limp and he collapsed to the ground. His eyes were filled with despair. He knew that everything was over. You are Yin Yinfeng's mother? Wang Haoyan looked at Yin Luofeng blankly. His gaze was complicated, regretful, and angry. Of course, the anger was directed at Wang Shuilian. Yin Luofeng raised his eyebrows and looked at Wang Haoyan. Who are you, mother? Hearing Yin Luofeng's question, Yin Yinfeng stood up and said, this guy wanted to give Chu Tian medicine, but we saw through him. In the end, we threw Chu Tian here to fulfill his wish. Medicine? Yin Luofeng narrowed his eyes, his murderous intent shooting out. Wang Haoyan was very regretful. I was wrong. I'm willing to admit what you want to do to me. It's just that I did it for Miss Chu Tian's sake. Now that I see how much you love her, I'm relieved. Wang Haotian's lips curled into a bitter smile. His eyes swept towards Wang Shuilian. At first, she was the one who told me that you killed the parents of a friend she knew. Furthermore, you stole her friend's family's property. But now that I know your identity, I understand that you disdain stealing other people's property. The funny thing was that he was actually glad that Wang Shuilian had made such a big mistake. Yin Luofeng's gaze slowly turned towards Wang Shuilian, who was hiding behind the crowd. A cold light flashed across his eyes. What's her name? Wang Haoyan replied. Wang Shuilian. Wang Shuilian? Yin Luofeng sneered. I think it's Yin Shuilian. Wang Shuilian panicked even more when she heard this. How could she recognize her? Yin Shuilian? Everyone was stunned and turned to look at the flustered Wang Shuilian. Yin Shuilian? Yin Tianqi and Li Cuicui's daughter? Yin Shutian immediately jumped up and said angrily, I didn't expect you to come to this continent from China. How dare you slander my mother? When did my mother seize your family's property? My mother's parents in Huaxiao were killed by that pair of cheese. They robbed my mother of her belongings and kicked her out of the house. Now you're making false accusations. The others didn't understand Yun Chutian's words, but they understood one thing. Yun Shiwelian was not Wang Shiwelian. Wang Haoyan looked at Yun Shiwelian in surprise. His eyes were filled with shock. I should have guessed it. My sister was such an obedient girl. How could she have changed so much? The funny thing is that I never suspected that you weren't my sister. So that's how it is. Everything makes sense now. She just didn't know if her father would be able to take it after knowing about this. That's not right. Wang Shiwelian shook her head desperately. Her face was pale. The situation shouldn't be like this. I'm a transmigrator. In some stories, the transmigrator should be the main character. Since I'm a main character, I should be glamorous. Besides, in most stories, the betrothal is just a stepping stone. Why was it different when it came to her? If you hadn't been stupid and stayed in China, you might have been able to keep your life. Since you're courting death, don't blame me. Chapter 2262. Yin Yinfeng sneered and his lips curled up. Mother, Chu Tian is tired. Take Chu Tian to rest. I'll take care of things here. I don't want Chu Tian's hands to be dirty. Chu Tian was such a beautiful and cute girl. How could he bear to let her hands be stained with blood? These things should be done by him as a man. Okay. Yin Luofeng's lips curled up. It seemed that their relationship developed very quickly during this trip to Sky Emperor City. Chu Tian, let's go first. Yinfeng will come back later. Okay. Yin Chu Tian turned to look at Yin Yinfeng. Brother Yinfeng, I'll wait for you at the inn. There is no need for her to stay in this palace anymore. That night, many people in Sky Emperor City were awakened from their dreams, especially when they heard the heart-wrenching screams coming from not far away. Their hearts were filled with fear. No one knew what had happened. The next day, they found out about the massacre that happened in Sky Emperor City last night. None of those who had hurt Yin Chutian were left alive. Wang Shiwelian also died miserably. In order to reunite Wang Shiwelian's family, Wang Yinfeng sent her soul directly back to the underworld of Huaxia. When she saw Li Tsue and her husband suffering in the 18 levels of hell, she cried and wanted to leave. However, it wasn't so easy to leave after coming to the underworld. Because of this, Wang Shiwelian hated Li Tsue. If it wasn't for Li Tsue's words, perhaps she wouldn't have made such a big mistake. It was so good to be the daughter of the Prime Minister. Why did she have to court death by provoking Yin Yinfeng and Yin Chutian? However, no matter how much she regretted it, it was too late. The 7 continents. A storyteller was narrating what happened not long ago in a tea house. The people around him were listening with relish. It said that the 7th princess of Sky Emperor Kingdom was really talented. At the age of 5, she was able to learn medicine without a teacher. Unfortunately, she was harmed by a scoundrel. Not only did the 2nd princess steal her credit, but she was also framed for poisoning the 2nd princess. This caused the 7th princess to almost be burned to death. Oh, then how did she survive? Someone asked. The storyteller smiled. It's a long story. Just as the 7th princess was about to be burned at the stake, a godlike woman rode a divine dragon and rescued the 7th princess from the execution ground. That godlike woman was the ruler of our continent, Yin Luofeng. Yin Luofeng? Why did Yin Luofeng save her? I heard that Yin Luofeng's standards are very high, and there are very few people who can catch her eye. Haha, you don't know about this. The 7th princess is Yin Luofeng's daughter from his previous life. Yin Luofeng searched for her for a few years before finding her reincarnated in Sky Emperor City. Otherwise, why do you think he would save a girl he doesn't even know? The storyteller waved his fan. His eyes were filled with longing. I also heard that the 7th princess, who has changed her name to Yin Chutian, is childhood friends with Yin Luofeng's son. They're in love with each other and will soon get married. What a wonderful story, the crowd praised. Only Yin Luofeng's godlike son was worthy of a peerless beauty like the 7th princess. Yin Luofeng's son, young Master Yinfeng, is deeply in love with Yin Chutian. When they went to Sky Emperor City, the daughter of the Prime Minister wanted to throw herself into his arms, but she was humiliated by young Master Yinfeng. In his eyes and heart, there is only Yin Chutian. Isn't there a saying that those who are doted on are always fearless? This saying can't be more appropriate to describe Yin Shutian. The storyteller shook his head. The people around him also praised, but they didn't notice that the two people they were talking about were sitting below and listening with great interest. Hey! Yin Shutian knocked on a melon seed and turned to look at Yin Yinfeng. Brother Yinfeng, they said that only you are worthy of me. Yin Yinfeng curled his lips. Isn't that so? But I want to escape from the wedding in a few days. Yin Shutian gathered his courage and said. Yin Yinfeng's face darkened. What did you say? Brother Yinfeng, isn't there a kind of wedding in Huaxia called a wedding on a trip? I don't want to hold a wedding banquet. Let's have a wedding on a trip too. Ever since she went to Huaxia, Yin Shutian learned a lot. Although she rarely went to Huaxia now, she would occasionally miss the delicious food there, and she would beg Yin Luofeng to bring her there. As for the wedding on a trip, she only learned about it then. Okay? Seeing that Yin Shutian didn't want to marry him, Yin Yinfeng's expression improved. I'll listen to you. We'll do whatever you want. Brother Yinfeng, you're so good to me. Yin Shutian leaned on Yin Yinfeng's shoulder and smiled excitedly. The storyteller just said that those who are doted on are always fearless. No matter how willful and spoiled you are, it doesn't matter too much. Anyway, I'll dote on you, and I'm willing to clean up your mess. As long as you're by my side forever, that's enough. He didn't ask for much. Her company was enough. Really? Yin Shutian's eyes were very bright. Then let's go and write a divorce letter to father and mother right now and tell them that we won't be holding a wedding. Let's go and fulfill our marriage obligations. Sure. Yin Yinfeng's smile was warm. In this lifetime, he was willing to let her do as she pleased. As long as he doted on her, it was enough. Epilogue. You're messing around, I'm laughing. This was the relationship between Yin Shutian and Yin Yinfeng. No matter how spoiled and willful she was, he would always spoil her. The story of these two couples had also ended. The Ghost Emperor was completely over. Ghost Emperor's mad wife, hedonistic young mistress, will continue to be updated on Qingdao Novel website. There will be no advertisements on the website, so please bookmark and recommend it to Qingdao Novel website.